Today, we're jumping right into a topic that affects, well, literally half the planet, but often doesn't get the spotlight it deserves: the future of women's health. We're going to look at the data, the frustrations, and some of the incredible new ideas that are starting to change the game. But let's start with a question for you. Have you ever gone to a doctor about something that's bothering you, only to walk away feeling, I don't know, a bit dismissed, like your pain was just brushed off as a normal part of being a woman? That feeling, it's at the absolute heart of everything we're talking about today. And if you've ever felt that way, I really want you to hear this. You are so not alone. And it's not just a feeling you're imagining. The data we're about to dive into shows this is a huge shared experience, and it's what's driving this massive call for change. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the two areas that come up again and again as the biggest priorities: reproductive health and mental health. These are the issues that are really front and center for millions of women right now. And when you look at the list, the sheer range of concerns is, well, it's kind of staggering. We're talking about the whole spectrum, from managing menopause and things like brain fog to finally getting diagnoses for incredibly painful disorders like endometriosis. Plus, of course, fertility support, conditions like PCOS, and just the basic, crucial need for regular preventative screenings. And this isn't just about physical stuff, right? It's so deeply intertwined with mental well-being. The data shows sky-high rates of anxiety and depression, and this huge, overwhelming concern around burnout and just trying to manage stress, from juggling work, family, life, all of it. Now, all that stress has led to a growing demand for something called nervous system regulation. I know, it sounds super technical, but here's the key takeaway. This isn't just about trying to relax. It's about using real, specific techniques to manage your body's physical fight or flight response to that constant chronic stress. It's a way to actively fight back against burnout. Okay, so moving on from there, the conversation is getting broader. It's expanding beyond those immediate concerns and into overall physical health and what it takes to build long-term wellness. And notice what's right up there at the top: chronic pain and fatigue. This links right back to that feeling of being dismissed we talked about. Beyond that, people are focusing way more on heart health, keeping muscles and bones strong to head off things like osteoporosis, and just having a robust immune system. And I really want to pause on this for a second because this is so critical. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. The thing is, the symptoms for women can look totally different than they do for men, which means they get missed all the time. This stat alone just screams for more awareness. So, we've looked at all these different things: PCOS, heart health, burnout. But what's the one thread that ties so many of these struggles together? It really just boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful idea: the deep, fundamental need to just be heard and to be believed. Which leads us to the big question, right? Why are these challenges so persistent? Why is being heard still such a battle? Well, the answer isn't just about a single symptom or treatment. It's about the entire healthcare system itself. And this brings us to a really challenging but essential concept: medical misogyny. Put simply, it's a documented bias where women's health symptoms are way more likely to be downplayed or dismissed by doctors. And the result? Painfully long delays in getting a real diagnosis. And this chart just lays out the disconnect perfectly. On one side, you've got the reality for so many: dismissed symptoms, normalized pain, crazy long waiting lists. And on the other side, the demand is crystal clear: hear us, believe us, give us better diagnoses, accessible care, and please stop with the one-size-fits-all advice. But here's where the story takes a turn for the better. This is the exciting part. That demand, it's not just fading into the background. It is forcing a huge, powerful shift in how we even think about women's health. The frustration is actually fueling some incredible innovation. And this is the core idea of the whole solution. We are finally moving away from generic health advice. The future isn't one size fits all, it's one size fits one. It's about your specific biology, your data, and your life. So what does this new way of doing things actually look like? Well, you can think of it as a 3-part evolution. Step 1, moving from dismissal to actual diagnosis, taking symptoms seriously. Step 2, shifting from vague advice to care that's driven by real data. And step 3, getting out of that cycle of only treating sickness and moving toward proactively building health.
Okay, let's look ahead. What are the tangible trends we can actually expect to see making waves in the very near future? Like what's coming by 2026?
There are three huge areas to watch. First, a major new focus on protecting brain health during the massive hormonal shifts of menopause. Second, the rise of really innovative supplements that are actually researched for women's bodies. And third, and this is a big one, learning how to leverage all that personal health data from our wearables.
And speaking of innovative supplements, let's talk about one that might surprise you: creatine. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. Isn't that the stuff bodybuilders use at the gym?
Well, get this. New research is showing it has huge potential benefits, specifically for women. It's being studied for how it supports hormonal health, boosts energy levels, and, crucially, helps with muscle retention, which is a key part of healthy aging. It's a perfect example of this shift towards targeted, science-backed solutions.
And it all comes back to this bigger picture, right? The future is about making a shift from being a passive patient to being an empowered, active CEO of your own health journey. Which leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. In this new era of personalized medicine, is the health data you generate every single day becoming the most powerful tool you have?